And she went for several interviews and said, we'd like, you know, Heather to be on the show, but can she handle a live audience? Well, I wasn't too sure if she could. And I asked Heather, and she said, sure, no problem. And I said, sure, Heather. And anyhow, they said, okay, well, you know, go with Heather. And I said, are you nervous the first time she had to do a live show? She said, no, she was fine, but I was a wreck. And she went through it and fine. She was fine. I think the live audience eventually gave her confidence to speak up and not to be, you know, afraid of the people.
Off camera, what were some of her hobbies? And
she liked to swim, and she liked to read, and she liked to play miniature golf. I think that was her favorite. And to ride a bicycle, and she had an ATC that she used to ride. She has a cabbage doll collection, and she has a video camera and stuff, and I think she was starting to think along the lines of directing. She was starting to practice on all of us at home.
People, this will not stop. Oh, jeez.
Early in 1987, Heather became ill, and doctors at Kaiser Hospital in Southern California eventually diagnosed her as having Crohn's disease. That's an inflammation of the intestine. She was given drugs to treat her illness, and the effects of the drugs allegedly puffed up the young star's cheeks, as shown here in these production photos from Poltergeist 3. Heather completed shooting on that film last June. But 6 months later, Kathleen says her daughter became ill again on Super Bowl Sunday, 1988. Unable to keep anything in her stomach, she crawled into bed with her parents that night, and the next morning, February 1st, Kathleen helplessly watched her daughter being pulled away by the hand of death.
We know she was breathing real heavy. And I got to the phone, and I just called any number that was nearby, and I says, I got a little girl here that her fingers are blue, and she's breathing heavily. I said, bring her right in. So I said, Heather, go get your clothes on, I'll get mine on. And in a matter of, I guess, probably 30 seconds, she hollered, oh, Mom, and she'd fallen on the floor. And she was she was coherent and talking, but she was kind of, her face was kind of turned, you know, and kind of listless, you know, that kind of a look. And my husband called the paramedics. And they came and said, you need oxygen. And she says, I don't need no oxygen, I'm fine. They said, yes, you know, we need to put the oxygen on you. And they said, you feeling bad? She said, just a little. And then they prepared her and got her on the gurney and went out the door. And then outside the door, she threw up, and I wiped her mouth. She said, I'm sorry, Mom, you know. And they took her to the ambulance, and she suffered cardiac arrest.
Heather was resuscitated at a local hospital and then flown by helicopter to Children's Hospital and Health Center in San Diego.